First of all, love the movie.
Thank you.
And actually, my wife enjoyed it too. And I was telling these guys here, like, getting her to enjoy something that I like, it's pretty rare.
Oh, that's good.
Tell us what The Collapse is about.
Well, The Collapse is basically a story of a family of four trying to survive the fall of society, the end of the world. It's about it's not like all the buildings have collapsed at this point, literally, but everything's fallen apart. It's maybe a week into when everything started going nuts, and they're still stuck in the city. We have Steve, who plays the son of the film, and Lise, who plays the mom. And essentially, they realize that they can't stay in the city. It's too dangerous. Other people are dangerous, so they take to the countryside, trying to get to their rural community that they grew up in to find their estranged son, who may or may not still be alive. And they hope maybe the farmland might help them live better to sustain themselves for longer. But along the way, something might be following them. And I'm not going to say what that something is. That you have to discover yourself.
Yeah, don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
It's one of the treats of the film.
Yes.
So how did you come up with the idea? Because you directed and you also co-wrote. So.
Well, actually, it was Kevin Hutchinson and myself. Kevin Hutchinson is my co-writer, creative partner. And what we basically did is, about 4 years ago or so, we wrote a film called The Eternal in 2008. And we've been trying to get that one made. And in that meantime, we wrote 4 other films, and they all tie together in sort of like one big universe.
Oh, nice.
Right? So when it came to, we sort of realized that The Eternal wasn't going to get made anytime soon. The budget was too big. We decided to do something really low budget. So we took one tiny story element from this universe, and we expanded that into a feature and built the family story around that. So it sort of was something that already existed that we kind of just turned into something else.
I had no idea about that. So did you guys plan to want to revisit the universe that you created?
I'd say,
hopefully you get to make those 4 first ones.
Yeah, the Eternal's our next goal. We're working on that right now. It's just a matter of getting the money together.
When you're writing, are you thinking, well, when I have a chance to shoot this, it's going to be like this and like?
Well, I'm also I'm an editor.
You edited the film
trade,
as well, right?
So like my entire background is post-production. So while I'm writing and editing writing and getting ready to direct and doing the shot list, I'm already thinking in my head how am I going to cut this together, and that really dictates how it's written. Even if you ever read any of our scripts, they're very descriptive. Like they're not just dialogue and then a line of what happens. There's like a block of description. You can write down to camera direction. We kind of write shooting scripts.
How long was the shoot?
14 days.
Wow.
Yeah, we did it really quick. 14, 12-hour days. Lots of travel time. No pickups. And how was the shoot, Steve?
It was awesome, actually. And you know, we were joking about the shot list. One thing as an actor that was great about Justin is he did come to set prepared, so it's not like we were wasting time. Like we would get the shot set up and everything flowed very nicely.
Was it a tough shoot? Was it, based on the fact that it's, your timelines are...
It was a tiring shoot because I was also the caterer. My days were way longer than everyone else's because I'd come home after 12 hours of shooting and maybe 3 hours of travel time, and then I'd cook till 4 a.m. for everybody, and then I'd wake up at 6:30 a.m. and go right back out, and I did that for 14 days straight. So for me, I was dead on my feet by the end, but it went really smooth. It was a pretty smooth shoot. Like, there were small things, like there's a parking lot scene where nobody would shut up around us. Like, there was a wood shop going and refrigerated trucks and kids yelling, and we just decided, okay, well, that's not apocalyptic. So we shot it without we shot it without sound, and we rebuilt all the sound in post for that part.
One of the things that I dug about the film is there wasn't a total outright explanation as to what had happened.
I think really what mattered in this particular case was you knew basically what happened by the end, but you didn't know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go any more into that. Yeah. But you'll find out, because that's the element that was taken from the other stuff, right? So because we have this bigger universe, we were kind of playing a puzzle game where, over time as we're making these films, people will put the pieces together, or they won't. But for the people that only watch this film, I don't mind that it's a little bit ambiguous.
Apocalyptic films.
Yes.
They're somewhat popular, but one of the things that I like about the genre itself is you can tell an apocalyptic film in 100 different ways, because everyone's vision of the end of the world is up for grabs. What is it about that genre? I guess it's a genre at this point. What is it that appeals to you?
To me personally, I personally like the idea that, we, as a society and as people, we've kind of got to this point where we're always looking at our little screens on our cell phones, and we're always like, absorbing media, and so much of our life is about getting the next thing and like trying to buy the next thing and all this stuff. And what if all that fell away and you're left with really just survival and the people that are closest to you? And if you could die tomorrow, what would you say to them? And those kind of stories, like it goes all the way back to the early Romero films and all that sort of thing. When society collapses, what do you really have to hold on to, and what's left? And I think that's, I don't know, Kevin, would you agree? That's kind of
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, that's really what interests me the most about an apocalyptic story is, we're like a match, right? Like the human race. So you strike the match, it burns out really quickly. What happens when that flame's going? Like what are you actually thinking about? That's kind of where we came from. Oh, I messed on my signature. If you're going to steal my identity, please just warn me.